Right, well, we've come on our first little trip out, and we're now at Lindisfarne Island, or Holy Islands as they call it. And we've just come off the coach from the car park down there, and we've walked up towards, which could be a castle or it could be the monastery, I'm not quite sure. But there's another castle out there. If I just zoom in, there's another castle on the horizon over there. Now I'm not sure what that one is, but I don't think we can get to that because it's such a long way away. But there's a castle over there. Now we're well off the coast and all this area becomes flooded, and this is like a harbour right next to the island, and when the tide comes in it comes right up here, and obviously these boats will be floating on the water again. So the island gets fully surrounded by water, and I just go up on this side. You can see that it's quite a big area, a village, and over there, looking back, I think that's the old monastery where the monks of Cuthbert that we've been to see at the abbey. This is where he died and where his bones were kept, and then they were transferred to the abbey that we saw the other day by the monks to save them from the Viking invaders. So this is the holy island of Lindisfarne. It was quite a long walk. Mark's gone on ahead because I've been a bit slow, but we're heading up towards another castle. I think it's going to be a castle. I don't think this is where the monks are. This is our first little taste of the Holy Island. This is the castle up ahead. I think you can get a bus up here, but we've chosen to walk. We've only got 2 hours on the island before the tide comes in again, and then we've got to get back on the coach to get back over the causeway, which leads us back onto the mainland. So I'll have to get a bit of a scoot on now and catch up with Marg so that we can see the rest of the island on the way back. We'll just zoom in again quietly and show the castle, and we'll hopefully be heading up there. It's all got scaffolding on it at the moment, so they're obviously under repairs of some sort. But that's where we're headed. And I'll try and shoot another little bit of video a little bit later on. Right, we're right up by the castle now. We come up the path from down there in the harbour, and looking all around, various things out in the water, little posts, various things. A little bit nearer to that castle on the headland. I'll just zoom in a little bit, see if we can see it any better. It's a wonderful view. around the end of the island. Wonderful view. And you've got some like little cabins here. But as you might expect, they charge you to go into the cabin, up into the castle itself. So I don't think we're going to go in there. It's all under scaffolding, and I don't think once you've seen one castle, you've probably seen them all. So these look like upturned boats. They're like little sheds or cabins for people. But this is the North Sea, with the tide out, the German Sea I think they call it. It stretches out mile after mile, right the way round, all the way around the end of the island, between these cabins. And all I like to see on the other side, we go between these cabins. Let's have a quick look at this side of the island. As you can see, we're surrounded by water right the way around to the scaffolding of the castle. As I said, I don't think we'll go up there. I don't think it's worth paying £8 just to look in this castle. So until we do a little bit more, that's as far as the video goes this time. Well, it seems like we have decided to go into the castle after all. So I've got to climb up these rather scary looking steps up to the castle. My wife's paid the money to go in, so I suppose we've got to go and have a look at what's up here. We're getting higher and higher up onto the mound where the castle is. Oh. Rather scary looking steps that they've built. But it must have been much worse before they put these steps here for people to climb up. I just hope there's not too many more. This is where we go in to the castle. Up more steps. And then we come out. Oh, I don't know whether this is some sort of gun battery. I don't know why they'd want a gun here. It was a castle. Oh, just have 5 minutes. Sit down here before we go any further. Now, you don't usually like you filming inside these places, so I don't think we'll be able to film. I don't know, or whether there's anything inside to film. I'll just have a look off this parapet. They obviously had some sort of a gun here. It's like a gun emplacement, presumably to protect the castle, the estuary coming in. With that castle over there and this one over here, I suppose you could attack anybody who was stupid enough to try and get in to land in this area. There's another emplacement here. This one's all chained off, so you can't go any further out. There's another gun emplacement here, going round, circling this part of the coast. A few weeds growing up, well, you can see quite plainly that this is quite a good gun emplacement. If you've got a strong enough gun, you could shoot at ships coming into interview all around there, which is rather interesting. So I'll shut off now and we'll go on filming a little bit more in a minute. Well, I'm now on the very top of the castle, and there's more gun emplacements up here, which we can see on the floor area. And of course they're working on the castle, so a lot of the interior is missing because they're waiting for the lime plaster to dry out, and then they'll be able to put back the furniture and the tapestries and what have you back inside again. So the rooms that we're going to see inside aren't furnished, whereas normally they are, and the castle is fully waterproof and fully finished. They'll put all the furniture back in, and then it'll be a little bit perhaps more interesting to see, but at the moment we're seeing it in its bare bones, and they're respectfully doing the castle so that it doesn't look too new, I suppose. They're trying to keep it as authentic as possible, but of course it's impossible to create age in things. So some of the bricks obviously are new, and obviously they try to match the colours and things as best they can, but it's quite obvious in some parts that the bricks are new. But that means that the castle will remain here for hundreds of years more, and for generations of people to see it, as it always is, defending the entrance in to the holy island of Lindisfarne. So I think we'll go on a bit now and see what else we can see. Now we're leaving the little village of Lindisfarne, Holy Island. We're making our way back over the causeway, back onto the mainland. Everybody needs to leave because once the tide comes in, the coaches can't get over the causeway. Leaves the island in peace for another night. All the tourists have gone. Leave it to the locals. Car park now deserted, a few cars left. Tide's rapidly coming in. Leaving Lindisfarne Island, heading back to the mainland, crossing over the causeway. Tide's rapidly coming in. And this road will be cut off completely by the tide. That'll end our little trip to Lindisfarne. All this area will be submerged in water very shortly. This will be the tops of these hillocks. And the road will be completely submerged. Buildings over there. I know what they are.
People are calling back and asking
Approaching the area now where the tide will be coming in. These sticks mark where people can walk, I believe. It'll be safe to walk. The only way to leave the island really shortly will be by boat. All this area becomes the sea. It's always very wet. It'll be even more wet. As the tide reclaims it. So, all the island behind us as we head back to our hotel for the night. Another adventure tomorrow. We're hoping to go up to Hadrian's Wall and visit one of the forts, I think, one of the Roman forts on Hadrian's Wall. A bit bumpy. Strange to think that all this shortly will be sea. Completely submerged. We bounce up and down. So we'll
okay, ladies and gents, that's us off the island now, so we're quite safe. We've not got stranded. See the sun's come out again. As you can see, it's getting a bit cloudy again now. So we're going to make our way back towards the hotel now. We'll be there just about 6 o'clock. I don't think your evening meal this evening is at 6:30. It's at 7:30. So make sure you come down please for 7:30 for your evening meal. And tomorrow morning we'll be leaving the hotel at 9 AM. Tom will be joining us for the whole day.
Well, goodbye Lindisfarne. We may come to see you again.